Well, hello, it's Steve here again, hoping that absence does make the heart grow fonder. Hey, last time I told you to hit the like button, that's the only thing I cared about. Well, that really paid off because I made enough money that I went down to the Piggly Wiggly and bought a 6-pack of Mountain Dew and a Slim Jim. So thank you for that. Why don't you do it again? I'm hungry. Today's episode is about that wonderful and beautiful actress, Natalie Wood. Natalie Wood was born Natalie Zakharenko on July 20th, 1938 in San Francisco. Her parents were of Russian and Ukrainian heritage, and she was brought up in the Russian Orthodox religion. In 1942, they bought a home in Santa Rosa, California, where Wood caught the eye of a film crew during a downtown shoot. RKO executives David Lewis and William Getz changed her surname to Wood to appeal to an English-speaking audience and honor filmmaker Sam Wood. Her only sibling, Svetlana, was born in Santa Monica in 1946 and later pursued acting as Lana Wood. Natalie Wood made her screen debut at 4 in the 1943 film The Moon is Down. She appeared in a brief scene in Happy Land in 1943 as well. Despite these minor roles, director Irving Pichel became a favorite of Wood's and offered guidance to her family for 2 years. In a surprising turn, Pichel asked Wood's mother to bring her to Los Angeles for a screen test. Excited, Wood's family relocated, though Wood's father initially opposed the idea. Pichel had a strong desire to adopt Wood. Now that's Holly weird. At 7, Wood secured the role in Tomorrow is Forever in 1946. When Natalie struggled to cry on cue, her mother tore a butterfly into pieces to ensure her daughter's tears. Wood's most famous childhood film was Miracle on 34th Street in 1947 at Fox, starring Maureen O'Hara and John Payne. The movie became a beloved Christmas classic. After its success, Wood became a top child star. She appeared in several family films after Miracle, including Driftwood in 47, Chicken Every Sunday in 49, Father Was a Fullback in 49, and Dear Brad in 1951, among many others. In fact, she appeared in over 20 films during her childhood and made television appearances on Kraft Theater and Chevron Theater. Wood was a minor during her early acting career and received her primary education on the studio lots. Despite California law mandating at least 3 hours daily in the classroom for child actors under 18, Wood excelled academically, earning straight A's and being one of the few child actors to excel in math. Natalie recalled feeling guilty when the crew waited for her to complete her classroom time, but rushed to the set as soon as the teacher dismissed them. As a child actor, she gained significant media attention, being named the most exciting juvenile motion picture star of the year by Parents Magazine when she was 9. In the 1953-54 TV season, Wood starred as Ann Morrison in the ABC sitcom The Pride of the Family. She also appeared in various shows including the Pepsi-Cola Playhouse, Public Defender, General Electric Theater, and the Ford Theater. In addition to TV, she appeared in the films The Silver Chalice in 1954 and One Desire in 1955. Wood transitioned from child star to ingenue at 16, co-starring with James Dean and Sal Mineo in Rebel Without a Cause in 1955. The film's depiction of teenage rebellion led to a long-term contract with Warner Brothers, and earning her an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. Later, she notably starred in John Ford's The Searchers in 1956 and A Cry in the Night, and Wood graduated from Van Nuys High School in 1956. Later, she was given the lead role in Marjorie Morningstar in 1958. Natalie Wood starred with Frank Sinatra in Kings Go Forth in 1958 as well. However, she declined subsequent film roles, leading to a year-long suspension by Warner Brothers. She later starred with James Garner in Cash McCall in 1960, but faced a decline after the box office flop All the Fine Young Cannibals that same year. Despite her talent, Wood's career was declining after a series of unsuccessful films. However, she was cast in Splendor in the Grass in 1961 alongside Warren Beatty. Wood received nominations for the Academy Award, Golden Globe Award, and BAFTA Award for Best Actress in a Leading Role for exceptional performance in Splendor in the Grass. Wood portrayed Maria, a restless Puerto Rican girl on Manhattan's West Side in the musical West Side Story, despite Wood's singing being provided by singer Marni Nixon. West Side Story remains widely regarded as one of her most accomplished cinematic performances. Wood appeared next in the 1962 film Gypsy, alongside Rosalind Russell, earning critical acclaim. At 25, Wood received her third Academy Award nomination for Love with the Proper Stranger in 1963. She also starred with Tony Curtis in Sex and the Single Girl in 1964 and The Great Race in 1965. For her performances in Inside Daisy Clover in 1965 and This Property is Condemned in 1966, co-starring Robert Redford, she received Golden Globe nominations for Best Actress. Despite the commercial success of many of Wood's films, her acting was occasionally criticized. After the disappointing reception of her film Penelope in 1966, Wood took a 3-year break from acting. After the hiatus, Wood co-starred with Diane Cannon, Robert Culp, and Elliott Gould in the comedy film Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice in 1969. The film achieved both critical and commercial success. After becoming pregnant in 1970, she took a break from acting and entered semi-retirement, appearing in only 4 more theatrical films. Wood's highly publicized marriages to Robert Wagner were controversial. They first married in 1957 and divorced in 1962, after Wood discovered Wagner was having an affair. Natalie has subsequent relationships, including Warren Beatty and Michael Caine. In 1969, Wood married British producer Richard Gregson. After dating for 3 years, they had a daughter, Natasha, in 1970, and they divorced in 1972. Wood briefly dated future California Governor Jerry Brown before reuniting with Wagner in 1972. They remarried on July 16, 1972, and had a daughter, Courtney, in 1974. A 2001 biography alleges that a powerful Hollywood actor had inappropriate forced contact with Natalie when she was only 16. Terrified, she refused to report it to the police. Afterward, she detested the former idol and shuddered at his name. She kept the secret and acted as if nothing had happened when they met. In 2021, a year after Kirk Douglas's death, Lana Wood published the memoir Little Sister, My Investigation into the Mysterious Death of Natalie Wood, identifying Douglas as Wood's alleged assailant. Natalie Wood co-starred with Robert Wagner in the TV film The Affair in 1973. In 1978, Wood made cameo appearances in Wagner's detective series, Switch, and Heart to Heart. Natalie made a film comeback with the ensemble disaster film Meteor in 1979 and starred in the sex comedy The Last Married Couple in America in 1980 with George Segal and Valerie Harper. At the time of her passing, Wood was filming the $15 million science fiction film Brainstorm in 1983, co-starring Christopher Walken and directed by Douglas Trumbull. A stand-in and sound-alikes replaced her in crucial shots, and using her sister Lana Wood for the remaining scenes. The movie was released posthumously on September 30th, 1983. Sadly, actress Natalie Wood died mysteriously during the film Brainstorm's production, found lifeless in the water near her husband Robert Wagner's 58-foot yacht, Splendor. The exact circumstances of her entry into the water remain unknown. On the evening of November 28th, Wood was with Wagner, her co-star Christopher Walken, and the Splendor's captain, Dennis Davern. Authorities retrieved Natalie Wood's body at 8 a.m. on November 29th, about a mile from the yacht. Nearby, a small inflatable dinghy was beached. The autopsy revealed bruises, a cheek abrasion, and traces of a motion sickness pill and painkiller in her system. Natalie Wood was only 43 years old. Davern mentioned an argument between Wood and Wagner that evening. Wagner initially denied it, but later admitted to it. Wood's blood alcohol content was 0.14%. The Los Angeles County coroner ruled Wood's death accidental drowning and hypothermia. She may have slipped while attempting to reboard the dinghy. However, her sister Lana doubted this, claiming Wood was a poor swimmer and terrified of the water. 2 witnesses heard a woman scream for help during the night. On December 2nd, Wood was laid to rest at Westwood Village Memorial Park Cemetery in Los Angeles. 3 days later, the case was closed. In November 2011, the case was reopened after Davern admitted to lying to the police. He claimed Wood and Wagner argued that evening, and Wood flirted with Walken, which enraged Wagner. Davern alleged Wagner prevented him from turning on the searchlights and notifying authorities, blaming him for Wood's death. Walken hired a lawyer, cooperated with the investigation, and was not considered a suspect by authorities. In 2012, Los Angeles County Chief Coroner amended Wood's death certificate, changing the cause of death from accidental drowning to drowning and other undetermined factors. In January of 2013, the coroner's office released a 10-page addendum to Wood's autopsy report, suggesting she might have sustained bruises before entering the water, but it couldn't be confirmed. In February of 2018, Robert Wagner was named a person of interest. The police confirmed he was the last person with Wood before she disappeared. Of course, all of this is just speculation, and Robert Wagner was never charged with a crime in this regard. Well, in my honest opinion, I don't believe that Robert Wagner intentionally murdered Natalie Wood. I just don't believe it. I think it was an accident. I think there was some drunken revelry at the restaurant there in Catalina, and they had been to the island back and forth on that dinghy, and I think there was a word spoken, and she got mad and went to get on the dinghy, and nobody was watching, and she fell into the ocean, and that's pretty much how it all ended. So that's my opinion. What do you think? Leave it in the comments down below, and I'll see you again next time, unless I come to my own sad ending.